What is a meme? Seriously, what is a meme? Well, for those who touch grass, this is most likely the minority of you people, which is not fine. What are you doing here? Um, a meme is many things, but I think most people know what that is, but some people don't, because some are sane. For the few sane people out there who have a life, what is a meme, you might say? Well, it is an image, video, piece of text, etc. Typically humorous in nature. This is copied and spread rapidly by the internet users. These users, if you will, often with slight variations, an element of a culture or system of behavior passed from one individual to another by imitation or other non-genetic means. And boy, do we love our genes. If you guys didn't know, I kind of did some memes already. If you still didn't get it, don't worry. We'll find, let's say, more specific ways and more obvious ways to figure out what is a memes. Well, let's slice what is and is not a meme. Also, my name is JTF.
Oh no, that's like a green text. Be me in an escape room, have to shit my pants. Anyway, hello everybody. This is a segment, I think. Chat, everybody say hello. SDL, friend of the stream, posted this meme. There's a guy over here on the left saying, "It's not my job to educate you. Your views aren't total garbage. What do you want? A trophy? Do your own learning. Google is free. PayPal me." And there's a guy on the right. "You want to know more? Awesome. Here, have some scientific arguments for racism. Wait, let me get my Muslim rape statistics. Commies and Jews have infiltrated everything. I'm the only educator you could trust."
This is a definition of a meme, or what we might most people call a meta meme. Meta meme, metaphorical, meaning that it is a meme, it's funny, but it's also have some grain of truth. In this meme, there is some grain of truth that the person posting this thinks is true, but they're doing it in a meme and funny like way. So you have those types of memes, and you got dank memes. If I'm correct, those were the more darker memes, things of that nature, and it just depends on the language, which we'll get into. Like, is this really just a joke, or do they actually mean this as something true? Well, from Sock down left, with the sickle icon for their profile picture, I'm most likely assuming that this is not just a funny meme, haha. This is something that they believe that Nazis obviously do here on the right. The left, I think, is ironically a leftist, I'm assuming. I don't know. Or just somebody who says, hey, it's not my job to educate you, things of that nature. Quick detour to that. I would say, since I'm making a video to educate you, it is somewhat my job to educate you on something, but I would encourage you to look up a lot of stuff for yourself, because I might not get everything, but you are here to get educated on memes, so, but, I'm not the meme expert necessarily, though I know how to do a meme. Which is not just that, but it's everything else. The everything else synthesis, if you will, if you know that, if you wills. That could be a meme. Well, I'm not a memes expert, but I am educating you on memes to an extent. So I would say we are here as content creators to educate people, but I would say for most of us who say do your own research, we're saying don't just go to us, use your brain respectfully, because trust me, on the internet, a lot of people are brainless. That could be a joke, but also is somewhat true. Some people are in a sense way brainless. Oh
To me,
boy.
it's like a Venus flytrap for the people it's making fun of. Utterly bizarre thing to tweet out, LOL, people become Nazis because left-wing people are too mean and gatekeepy while Nazis are nice to them. Craven horseshit from a Crassin horseshitter. So that's not what this meme is saying, first of all. There's people, and I've seen them, I've 8 years on the internet. There's people who, they don't really they're not set in their beliefs, you know what I mean? They're probably not even extremely political. They don't know much. Who, like, they're just, like, floating around. Maybe some of you guys are that, right? And then maybe they have a question, or maybe they talk about something, and they're talking to a left-wing person. This is how a lot of them at least were back in the day. It's not my job to educate you, Google it, you know.
If not now.
Oh, not my job, you know, shitlord. And people on the right are so eager. And they're eager to bring people in. You know what I mean? Like just see how they treat people who say that they leave the left, right? If you're talking to a Nazi, and they're going to be friendly, because they know you're the sort of person who's willing to talk to a Nazi? First of all, I know the guy has a swastika on his shirt, but they don't usually, like, do that, you know what I mean? They're not outright saying that they're a Nazi.
I mean, yeah, some of them are now because they've been kind of it's this way, I guess, vilified. I don't know if that's the right the right word there. They feel justified in Trump, whether that was accidental or especially purposeful, and in MAGA as well. They feel like their voices are heard via in MAGA. Whether that was purposeful or accidental, that is just a fact to an extent. But even then, they don't like MAGA for being too reasonable to an extent. Sometimes. MAGA is not so reasonable, but sometimes when it does, a Nazi kind of gets on fire. I know I'm saying that wrong, but use that as a meme if you wills.
They're not that blatant. They don't have a swastika on their shirt. They're saying, hey, I understand you. I get it. I get where you're coming from. But I'll tell you. I'll tell you all about it, kid. Psst, come over here. Those fucking SJWs, they don't know shit. This is so important to me because as somebody who has seen this, as somebody who has witnessed the person on the left and the person on the right.
Also, it's kind of a meme. It's kind of a little bit jokey. Yeah, of course, I think Sock Don left. I've heard of him before. I think they're he. I know of now, which is fine, but, you know. Point is, from what I know of, obviously, I don't think they think that most Nazis just wear swastika now. Obviously not. Unless if you're in Florida, then you get a pass. Especially if you're working on Alligator Alcatraz, they give you a pass. Again, kind of a joke, kind of a meme, but also somewhat like, you know that whole Nazi commercial debacle with Ron DeSantis and Florida's kind of very right wing in some cases. So I am somewhat joking, but to an extent, it's not just a joke, not just a meme in a sense. It is somewhat true because I am actually somewhat referring to Alligator Alcatraz, something that's a real thing, and also Nazis giving a pass because for some reason the DeSantis team thought that Nazi was fine until they realized they were a Nazi, and they're like, let's get him out of here. That doesn't look good for us, even though there's a reason why Nazis went to the DeSantis team. Because DeSantis says similar things to them. It doesn't mean they're for Nazi, but you just gotta be careful.
The people who don't get it either weren't around when the person on the left was at the peak, when that was leftism online. They weren't around, or they're that person. Also, if your experience of left-wing people is all of them telling you to educate yourself, maybe it's because you're clearly an incredibly annoying bad faith actor. I don't know. You're this guy, my dude. You're absolutely this guy. Why do these people just like, they claim to be activists, but when it comes to actually doing the activism and the talking to other people, trying to convince them of their ideas, it's like, no, sorry, society is just fucked and you can't help specific people. Like, yes, that is current society, but society is made up of individuals, and if we can help individuals on micro levels, why shouldn't we do that? I had a convo, I had a little...
Because that's woke, or that's fascist, or whatever now these days.
I had a little back and forth. So, I said to the guy, you're the guy in the first panel, get well soon. And this guy goes, are you saying that because you're the guy in the second panel? Yes! The point is to be the guy in the second panel as a leftist. To be the guy that says, oh yeah, this is that, this is that, this is this, you know what I mean? And I'm just like, yes, that's what every left-winger should be. Do you not understand the point of this comic? Every left-winger should be an eager Nazi. Mask-off moment for you, to be honest. Part of educating people is that they aren't empty banks to deposit information in.
You know that famous meme of Star Trek? It's like, yeah, that's why I felt like when they said that Shorthead is the Nazi mask off. Like, man, you don't get it. You don't get it, do you? You don't get it.
They bring their own biases and ideologies to the table. If they choose to be a Nazi, then there's more going on than just mean lefty told me to read a book. This is why the left can't meme, by the way. They don't get simple-ass fucking, like, comics like that. Everything has to, they don't...
Everything has to be an analysis, everything has to be political and stuff. Legit wokeism, not the boogeyman, weird right-wing version of woke that changes from yesterday and will change to tomorrow, will not be the same today, which I somewhat talked about there.
Get it, so they're like, well, there's more than just me. Like, of course there's more. Of course there's more. Of course it's deeper than that, just that the two panels. Yes. This is why Stone Toss can, like, make a point in 3 panels. But when I do, like, a little joke online, like, about how, like, we give too much money to the military-industrial complex or some shit, we spend too much money on the military and not fixing our own potholes, and I show a picture of a pothole, and there's a bunch of lefties like, actually, the picture of that pothole is in the UK. It's not even from America. Google Images says that pothole picture is from the UK. My point is, we're not spending money on our infrastructure. Actual education and...
Yep, yeah, that is the on-right radical left. Yep, I'm not being sarcastic, yes, Yawn Head is right.
Unlearning of people, 1984, who are predisposed to fascism is not a matter of which YouTuber you watch first. Okay, literally ask so many people, so many young people, what their entryism into leftism was. And a lot of them will cite this YouTuber, that streamer, whatever. It's like, a lot of people have, like, that is their first introduction to, like, leftism. I've been that for people. Like, during the primaries, when I would cover a bunch of shit, like, the Democrats being idiots and, like, would, like, prop up Bernie and whatever, so many people are like, oh, you were my entry point into all of this and whatever. It's just so stupid. It is a slow and painful process. Why has it gotta be painful? Which a lot of activists doing actual work don't have time for. Also, you're a streamer, you're not in the position to lecture anybody about activism. This is so boomer. First of all, I don't claim to be an activist. I don't do any activism. I just spew shit on the internet, right? I don't think I'm doing activism. But this is such a boomer thing, like I said in the next thing. So do you not believe there's an online right-wing radicalization problem? You'd be the first leftist I've ever come across that doesn't believe that. And he says, yes, there is an online right-wing radicalization problem. So online does matter, I guess, but it won't be solved by you, well, obviously, or any of your particular political persuasion doing Twitch debates and the like. That's not what liberational or truly de-radicalizing pedagogy is. Like,
And you just lost most of the lay people, respectfully. Like, just there's nothing necessarily inherently wrong with long words and reverse not anti racism or whatever it's called. But it's like no, just say you're against racism. You don't have to be I'm anti-racist. Yeah, we just say you're not racist. Just say things that most more people say. That's why the sort of rebellious teenager was the right wing. Because they're like, we're gonna keep it simple. We're not gonna be the weird expertise, analysis, Marxist people who say long words that try to indoctrinate you, which in a sense the way they were. But now the rules are reversed now to an extent. We have Essence Way to an extent Jordan Peterson, who might not really be fascist or fascistic, but has some right wing tendencies to where it's like, I don't think you even do what you say. You don't really walk the walk, you just talk the talk. And he says repeated long words of things like the hamburger is tasty, it's so good, it's very delicious. The goodness of it is of positivity. Like you're saying the same thing. Actually, it's only man. Jordan Peterson is so smart. It's like he is smart in some cases. I'm not gonna lie there, but and he does have some good points. Jordan Peterson to an extent, but to an extent, he's just repeatedly saying the same things in longer words. We could have said this sandwich is good. Go just said that. He didn't have to say it's delicious. The goodness of the feeling of the reaction of it is of a positivity. It's like you're saying the same thing. You're saying the same thing, man. You're saying the same thing. And just the sort of maybe it's not like expertise with long words anymore for the right now. It's more sort of dumbing down and being a child and saying this bad because it is. And then Jordan Peterson comes in and says it's bad because of the evils of the darkness of the devil. You know, it's like okay, you just said it's bad multiple times. Why is it bad? Well, you see, the Luciferianism of the evils of darkness of something else bad. You know, it's like again, how is it bad? Well, you know what I'm saying. Or they're like, it's bad because it's bad because it's bad. Why is it bad? Because it's bad. It's woke. What's woke? Woke is this. Okay. Next day, this is woke. Wait, you said this was woke. No, this is woke. What's woke? Woke is this. Next day, this is woke. No, this is woke. You get my point.
so they can be radicalized, but they can't be de-radicalized. What is the logic?
Too far gone.
And he's like, you have a real
Quote,
way
unquote.
of making people possibly sympathetic to genocidal ideology sound as if they have a childlike innocence to them. You don't seem to ask what is present in that person's consciousness that makes such thing appealing. So like they're just saying like if you are sort of curious, if you have right-wing beliefs or anything, or if you're like kind of slipping into that or whatever, you just have like your brain it's done. It's over. It's the original sin. This mindset of don't talk to anybody who disagrees with you. Don't try to understand where they're coming from. Don't try to like make it so they understand where you're coming from. And it's just like why as you as a leftist, why don't you want to change people's minds? Why do you think people like aren't you the rehabilitation types? Don't you think that murderers in prison can be rehabilitated? But somebody who's like I just think, you know, women, I just think there's two genders. There's no coming back from that. That's it. It's over.
Or sadly, and somewhat memeable, but sadly a true thing, if somebody who's guilty of lolicon crud, to be trash, and who might be a pedo. Well, if they're on the left, they might be redeemable, but if somebody on the right says, listen, I don't know about trans people in the locker rooms with biological females. Well, they're not redeemable. It's too late. They're too far gone. How dare you say that? And then they become more radicalized and say, you know what, being trans is not even the thing. We should eradicate it. And yes, I mean that by force. They didn't have to go there, leftist. You could have just said, okay, I get your concern. I understand about X, Y, and Z, and I would agree. Maybe to an extent there should be, depending on the situation, maybe just a separate locker room, especially if they didn't have bottom surgery. But if they do, and they're basically a woman, like their chromosomes are like, if it's really not that much of an advantage, I think the trans person could be in there. I get more detailed about that there, anyways. But it's like, no, left online radical leftists, you gotta no, just no.
And a lot of these people, like, they don't talk. They don't talk to people who don't just agree with them. They just don't. So they have this, straw man in their mind. They're all racist. They're all sexist. They're all transphobic. There's that shit. They're just all terrible people. It's not that.
But if I say that the straw man that they're doing is, most straw, I would say most straw. Some straw could be brown. So in that sense, you can say, whoa, I don't want to be racist. Now, do I, in the head of a radical online leftist, well, I can't do a straw man because they're all brown. That looks wrong on me. So I've got to steal steel man. But no, steel, fascism, maybe gray. I don't know if I want to do that. Again, a meme, a joke, but like, there might be some actual radical leftists out there that would do that. I highly doubt it, but I mean, let's be honest here. I really don't know at this point.
They want the world to be a better place, but they have like a different way to go about that, and they think that's the correct way. No, they're all genocidal. They all want to kill you. So you're just gonna be a Nazi because the left is rude online? People have actually gone right because the left is ridiculous. But like, imagine
exactly.
Like, I always make fun of that because if that was the case, I'd be like Hitler right now. Like, there's if it was
she said it. She's Hitler. She said it, folks. That was a joke. That was a joke. Goodness. That was a joke, folks.
It was like, whoever's mean, if it was lunch table politics and like whoever is mean to you, you go to the other side instead, like you switch lunch tables because that table's too mean to you. I would be like so far to the right in that cafeteria. So I'm just trying to make a more...
I mean, I am wearing a red hat.
Fun, inclusive left wing with blackjack and hookers on the internet. That is the goal here.
Now, I haven't watched this before, but I have seen at least a thumbnail or some people, or I've heard about it. I don't know if she's memeing or a joke here, but we'll see.
Can I change the name of the stream? No, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm not gonna touch anything. I'm not gonna touch anything. I'm not gonna touch anything. Something that I was talking about the other day. There was a tweet I saw that was talking about what villains really did nothing wrong. Chat, I want you to back me up, chat. I need you to back me up. What did he do wrong? What was his crime? I just need to know. No, this isn't a horny thing. This isn't a bonk thing. I'm being dead ass. Gaston's crime.
Oh, she's being serious. Well, I mean, I guess besides you can say the obvious of sexism and ignorance, I would say mainly the reason why he's the bad guy is because not only was he just straight up sexist, and every time she said no, he thought that was a short yes, not a full yes, but a little bit of a yes. Tried to kill the lover that she actually loved, which if I'm correct, I think I might actually have the video there. Not of me, but of other people. I think therapists that have debunked the sort of Stockholm syndrome thing, but I think other people have debunk that. I don't really know. I'm assuming, I guess, mainly because I don't know how Stockholm syndrome works necessarily, but I guess it didn't meet the criteria, so there's that. I would say he honestly a hot take here. Gaston, if you really look at him, if you do a uh, retrospect of him, if you wills, I would say he's not really a villain, but more just of a not good guy, like a jerk. He's more of a jerk than really a villain. If you compare him to other villains, especially Disney villains, I would say he's more of a jerk or kind of a bad guy. Maybe not like a villain, but at least a jerk, if not a bad guy. I can go that far with you there on Sue on him, but I can't go here. I can't go too far to say he did nothing wrong. I'm like he obviously did some things wrong, and it's been a long time since I've watched the movie Beauty and the Beast, the good one. There's no other one. There's no monotone one that I know of. It doesn't exist. I don't know what you're talking about.
What? He was full of himself? He was a little full of himself? He was a little sexist?
Like, the Beast was not kind, he was violent, and Gaston was like, hey, this thing is terrorizing the town. I'm gonna
He
kill
acted.
it.
No, listen. He acted accordingly to the situation at hand. He saw that this.
That's all right. I get that, but I guess since we, the audience, knew better, the Beast, if I'm correct, was having a little bit of a bad time, but that didn't justify him being him. Again, I don't remember the movie all that much necessarily to an extent, but it's like, sure, but it's like, I think we've seen other scenes of movies where it's like the villain looks like they're doing something right, but we're like, no, we have more information. It's not what it looks like, The audience reacts like, no, that's not the right person to, attack in a sense. So I don't know about that one, Shoehead.
This woman had Stockholm syndrome. Belle was like, "Oh, he's a nice guy." First of all, he really wasn't. Like you said,
Right, the Beast was not a nice guy.
Beast threw Belle into prison.
I mean, so was Zuko. Zuko was not the perfect guy. He was a very evil person in a sense. He was a villain, but like the Beast, he changed. So it's I'm sorry, it's ironic because I think most people, obviously, to be honest, on the left wing side or the woke side, they want their villains to be super understood or basically they don't want a good guy to have literally any character. Which Minecraft was a criticism that I heard from somebody who I think they got it from the internet. Not necessarily the best place, but in this case I think it was with the live action show of Last Airbender. I think it was Sokka or Zuko. I think it was Sokka. They changed his character to where he didn't have a character arc like in the original regarding sexism when he became less and less sexist. They just did away with that. So I don't know, it's ironic that Sean had somebody who I'm assuming would be against something like that is, at least back then, being like, the Beast is so bad, but yet didn't the Beast kind of have a change of heart? Didn't he kind of change to be a better person? I don't know. It's ironic here. It's ironic
Gaston
here.
didn't do that. He was a bit of a simp. Gaston was a bit of a simp. He was a little bit of a simp, right?
Who among us?
Who among us?
Who among us said, okay, that no from Bill was actually more of a small yes than the full yes? I mean, come on. I mean, I guess some people were like, I thought she was saying yes, but in a sneaky way, but no, she actually meant no. That is kind of a problem with men a little bit. As a guy speaking here, we gotta have self-control, people. If she says no, it's no, unless if you have built up a weird... Listen, I'm sorry, I'm gonna keep shame. If your safe word is saying no 3 times, I don't know. That just seems weird. I'm sorry, it seems weird. So if you're saying no, actually don't do it, but it's like if you say no again, then that actually means just say no once and it's actually no. Hey, I'm never in a relationship, never had sexual relationships with anybody, but I'm just saying that just seems weird. It seems weird. This user is the kink shamer. Yes, I am. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Listen. As a Christian, kinks aren't really a thing, if I'm correct. If I'm getting that right. Also, this in general. Listen, if a kink's like more of a quirk, more of a style, like hey, you like to role play as Doctor, then as a Christian, I don't think that's necessarily bad. Just don't go too far with it. But like, if you like my safe word, if I say no, that still means yes to it. Like this, just I don't know, keep it simple. Don't keep it too weird as a Christian, at least. But I won't kink shame too much, because I know everybody will flee from me. Listen, it's fine. It's fine. I'm joking, folks. I'm actually good, but it'll more I guess more seriousness. I don't know. I don't think everybody had that moment. I don't think every man had that moment of when she said no. I thought it was a yes. Some of us were like, no. If she said no, okay, it's no. I might be ignorant there, but the point is, I think you're wrong. Here's you on head.
Has not been a simp. He just wanted to get married and have kids. What's wrong with that? Okay, the Beast was a...
Sure, but how he tried to do it was kind of bad. Was kind of a jerk. Okay, come on. Well, let's come on. Let's be real here.
French aristocrat in the mid 1700s, France.
Right.
What do you think would have happened? Like, he was just he saw the future. He didn't want Belle to be beheaded. He harassed Belle, so then he dies?
Right, that's the thing, is now all of these things are more deserving of death than being an actual villain. He was not nice. He was an unpleasant guy.
I'm reading chat.
Yeah, okay.
He was French. That was his crime.
Yeah, fair.
He was a man. That was his crime. Someone said Cruella. She just wanted a coat. Hades?
Yeah, she just wanted a coat. She wanted to just kidnap puppies that weren't her own and just kill them. That's a villain. That's a villainy. Her name is Cruella de Vil. Devil. I mean, come on. This is gotta be meaning here at this point. Come on, Shimonhead. You're not being real, right? Right? Come on.
Hades was evil.
Hades was the devil.
Yeah, he's in Greek.
Well, hey man, I'm gonna just kill a baby. Well, here's a dank meme. There are some people on Planned Parenthood who would agree with me on that. Who doesn't want to kill a kid? Listen, to explain the dank meme, I think Planned Parenthood usually, if I'm correct, does majority stuff that most people would not have a problem with that is good for women's health. If I'm correct, mammograms and things of that nature, if I'm correct, even pregnancy. Yes, people get pregnant in Planned Parenthood. I know you might think it's a spawn of Satan, but actually, no, Satan has some good points then. Again, joke there, because, I think most Christians understand what I'm trying to say. In a sense, though you might be building a cross for me, please don't. Again, kind of a joke there, but don't crucify me, folks. Listen to what I have to say. Then, if you still don't like it, hey, I get it. Don't crucify me, please. Come on. Don't be like the 1600s where we're just burning people for everything. Come on. No exaggeration, but point is, the joke that I was trying to convey is I don't want to explain the joke, but in this case, since this is quite sensitive topic, Hades, if I'm correct, in the Hercules movie was trying to kill Hercules in a very young age as a baby, but failed. Planned Parenthood does abortions. I do believe abortion is, in some, if not most, I would say most, but in some cases, killing not just a life, but a baby. Not just a fetus, but actually a child. Unneeded pregnancies are an abomination to God. Plain and simple. God hates shows us in blood, period. He didn't stutter. You know? So that's the joke. But obviously, Planned Parenthood, unlike an abortion clinic, does more than just abortions. And if I'm correct, they have birthed children in Planned Parenthoods. At least AOC. Which is not just a joke. If I'm correct, she has said that herself. She was birthed in a Planned Parenthood because it's not an abortion clinic. They do a lot more than abortions. But sadly, that's been their famous work, sadly. But more on the abortion topic there.
Mythology. He's like literally the devil. Thanos. Thanos was like the fucking World Economic Forum. He just wanted to like.
I didn't watch.
Okay,
Ooh,
she's memeing at this point.
You've never seen that?
I think she's memeing.
I've never
Okay.
seen the MCU.
So, because it's soy and it's cringe
No,
to
that's
be soy.
It's
okay.
woke.
Okay. Thanos, he just wanted.
Is it because it's woke? I don't know if it's woke. It's just it's bad. It's not woke. It's bad. There's a difference. So like,
Thanos
there's
just
no.
wanted like everyone to have resources or whatever.
Okay, Klaus Schwab.
Magneto. Wasn't he like a Holocaust survivor, Magneto? I don't know what his drive to be a villain was.
Well, it depends on which movie. It depends on which movie.
Sid
Actually, no.
Toy Story. They were toys.
Well, he was actually, if I'm correct, Sid was actually the regular kid, and Andy was the not so normal kid. Actually, like Sid was actually most kids, but see, he was bad because obviously he was torturing toys just for fun, folks. Just for fun. This user is the toy torturer.
How was he supposed to fucking know that they were alive?
Like he's doing.
Well, he did find out later on, though.
It's kind of messed up shit. Like, if I was his parent, I'd be like, hey, Sid, why are you, like, decapitating your toys?
They traumatized that man. Remember when, like,
Right.
Woody
Yeah.
turned his head around?
He's gonna have PTSD. No one's ever
For
gonna
the rest
believe
of his life. No one's gonna
like,
fucking
these
believe him.
toys talk to me.
In the later movie, Sid's like a garbage man, right? He takes out garbage.
Is?
Yes! They show him in, like, I think the third new one or whatever. I don't know.
I didn't know that.
Don't worry, they'll make 10 of them with no reason whatsoever. You know that I think it's Toy Story 4 when I forgot her name sadly was saying, Porky, stay still, but he was reaching for like I think a penny, but he said, but it's money. It's like POV Disney. No, stop with the Toy Story movies. Let them be. Let them end, please. Stop ruining it. And Porky, POV Disney, saying, but it's money, it's nostalgia, I gotta do it. You hate our original stuff because it's bad, but it's money. Listen, Toy Story 3 should have been it. Done. Toy Story 4, not the worst thing, but it's like they're saying, hey, it's time to move on. Yes, it is. It's been time to move on. But no, we got a fifth one. I found credit it deals with like technology and AI, and I'm like, at least a Disney Plus series, if you really want to do it so badly. But a movie. Okay.
And they show his shirt, and it's a hint that he's like the garbage guy. And you know why he's the garbage guy? Like, not to look down, but he has such bad PTSD now. He couldn't even get into college. He couldn't do anything. This poor guy had to be thrown into an insane asylum. Otto wasn't the villain in WALL-E. It was us. Yeah, true. Deep.
That is true.
Society was the villain. Syndrome from The Incredibles? No. Syndrome was pretty bad. Wait, was Syndrome bad?
Okay. No, Jordan, no. See, it all started with first she came for the. Oh no. I'm done. It's Jover. It's Jover for me. First she came for the Gastons, and we didn't do anything. She came for the. I'm sorry. Listen, especially nowadays with the current administration, I'm not trying to take that particular type of quote lightly, but it was right there, folks. It was right there. It was right there. I couldn't miss the opportunity, folks. But it's all jokes, folks. I take authoritarianism seriously, but it's a joke. And this is why people feel like everything is woke because I can't even make that joke nowadays. Which, you know what? Hot take here. Some jokes in the moment you don't need to make, but it was right there, folks. So I'm sorry. It was right there. It was right there, folks.
Well,
he didn't want there to be any superheroes, right? Or he wanted everyone. No, wait, Syndrome was like the ultimate liberal. He wanted everyone to have superpowers, right?
So he is the villain.
So everyone.
I think. It's been so long, but I can almost I can basically reread out, if you will, the whole Incredibles movie almost because I watched it so much. But mainly Syndrome, from what I remember, I think he was only no. Yes, I think he did want to make everybody super, and when everybody's super, no one will be super because nobody will be super in a sense. Either A, that, and or B was trying to be the only superhero, I think. Or he was trying to usher in more superheroes. I honestly don't remember necessarily. Yet I've watched it a billionth times.
He wanted everyone to be equal. He
Yeah,
killed
it's good he
people.
died.
Yeah, he killed people. Shut the fuck up. The shark from Jaws.
And he tried to get the baby.
Was literally just a shark. He did nothing wrong. You know what's so funny about like sharks in general? Like,
come on now.
The way
Come
that
on.
they like we all treat them, it's like, oh, shark infested waters. No, bitch, that's their home. The T-Rex in Jurassic Park. Yeah. These motherfuckers brought back dinosaurs, and they have the absolute audacity.
I don't think the T-Rex. I forgot. I think because I don't remember if they're a boy or a girl. It's a movie. Really, I don't care. Don't care. I really don't. I'm sorry. I don't care. I have not seen Dominion or the I don't think I've seen Fallen Kingdom. I'm actually in a Jurassic marathon here. I'm about to watch, or I'm going to watch this week, or say tomorrow. Jurassic Park Fallen Kingdom, I think. The second one of Jurassic World, actually, sorry. Of Jurassic World. The dinosaur, that's, I think, almost in all of them. At least in the first Jurassic World movie, he is there to like save them from the Indominus Rex, I think it's called. I don't think they're a villain, really. I think they're just a nostalgic link. Like, remember this dinosaur from the very first one, Jurassic Park 1. I don't think they're a villain.
Waters. No, bitch, that's their home. The T-Rex in Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
Also, I had to be honest. I gotta be honest, in spoiler alert, but I think most people know this. Literally, the Jurassic movie franchise is basically, you know what? Let's do that again. Yeah, they killed a bunch of people, but let's do it again. That's literally it, folks, but it makes bunches of money. Because, ironically, let's be real, a little bit meta here, it's a representation of us. We don't learn sometimes. Like, yeah, it costs, but like, let's do it again. Why not?
Motherfuckers brought back dinosaurs, and they have the absolute audacity to like shock Pikachu face. Hammond is the villain of Jurassic Park.
That's true. Especially the book. In the book, John Hammond, the old guy,
yeah, I think he is kind of also a little bit of the bad guy who kind of represents a part of us in a sense. Like, it's like I don't think you understand the gravity of the situation of playing God. Basically, he's like, but Like, seriously, that's basically his reaction. Like, eh. But it's like, I think later on we have a little bit more of a justification why, but even then it was like, no, don't play God.
Is a lot less likable. He leaves his grandkids to die.
Oh, really? He fucked around, he found out. Squidward. Squidward isn't bad either. He's like...
Honestly, that's kind of a cultural thing. Like, Squidward, to most, he's just trying to survive the insanity of SpongeBob, I think. I think to some he is somewhat of a bad guy, but I think to most he's like, he's not really a bad guy, he's more of the person who's like, I'm done with the sponge.
He's not so much the villain, but he is like made as the antagonist of like the show, but he's really not.
Yeah.
I saw something that was like, the older I get, the more I understand Squidward. This man just wanted to go to work, make money, go home. He had to
I remember feeling bad for Squidward as a kid. I was watching be like, this seems very normal human behavior. Well, I guess not human behavior, but
normal squid behavior.
Normal squid behavior.
The villain in Squid Game did nothing wrong?
Okay, come on now. But I'm not saying this like some people would say. Like, I would say Patrick is, I think also kind of an antagonist for all the money and stuff, but like, some people have went too far, and I will talk about that later on in my channel. That'll be a fun one. That'll definitely be a fun one.
Which villain? There's a few villains in Squid Game.
I'm not someone who cares. Chat, do you care about spoilers? I was never someone who really cared about spoilers unless it's like a huge twist or something. Unless it's like an M. Night Shyamalan level twist. Willy Wonka is the villain in his own movie.
I mean, the early 2000s one, he's definitely a villain. I mean, nobody disputes that. The older one, I mean, listen, I think it's also cultural because I think back then, when bad stuff happened even to kids, not in a weird, wicked, evil way, but they got stuck in the thing and all that stuff. One turns into a blueberry and things of that nature. The jokes about it a little bit. If I know if all of them did survive, the early 2000s one made sure that so you saw them, but the older one, no. The older one, Willy Wonka was like, maybe they're dead, but if I'm correct, they weren't actually dead, from what I remember. I think they did clarify, no, they're not dead. They most likely won't be dead. It had more moral lessons of better parenting, which we definitely need that now more than ever. Like, goodness. The Supreme Court is not your parent. California is not your parent. Florida is not your parent. Goodness, I talked a little bit more about that there. Like, goodness. It's a cultural thing. I think today some might be like, we want clarification. Is the overweight person gonna be okay? Who was stuck in the chocolate vat thing? I don't remember, I'm sorry. But I think back then it was like, this is a lesson to be learned, and more not back then. I think there were lessons learned, but they didn't have the clarification of the consequences of some people, especially the kids in the older movie, of the older version of Willy Wonka, because the lesson was mainly the priority. Then the early 2000s one just ruins everything, and then the Timothy Chalamet one is actually pretty good. There's really nothing wrong with it, actually. It was just a different time, but if it was done today, I think they would have clarified, yes, they had their consequence, but also, yes, there was a lesson learned, but also they're okay as well, like they didn't die. But I think that's why. Because the lesson was more important than necessarily the particular characters and what happened to them. But if I'm correct, it was implied that they'll be okay. Most likely.
Is that true?
That's an interesting interpretation.
Yeah, he kind of is. He's kind of a freak.
He doesn't really kill anybody. I don't know how he pays the Oompa Loompas. Are they like unionized? Are they like, how does?
First of all, he turns.
I mean, you never know.
Into a blueberry. Oh, which by the way, chat.
I mean, did he turn her to a blueberry, or did she turn herself into the blueberry? I think she turned herself into the blueberry. If I'm correct, he did warn her, like, hey, or it was like, don't touch, or I think you said to try them out, but if I'm correct, in the Willy Wonka movie, there's some characters who kind of have to learn the hard way about some things, like her chewing gum for billions of years. Like, no. And again, it's the Oompa Doompa songs. It's personal responsibility. Parents, be more involved with your child. Hey, don't be a brat. Things of that nature. So, Violet turned violet because she chose that, to be honest here. It's not like with the atheist saying that Willy Wonka had a gun. No, it was a stop sign.
You know about this, right, Yuta?
No. I've stumbled upon this.
There is a guy on DeviantArt who has a fetish for women turning into blueberries, and he's drawn me as a blue.
Most fetishes are bad, and I will do it. I'm gonna say it. This user is the fetish basher. Yes, I will bash your fetish. If it's weird and disgusting, I will. I will, folks. That's bad. That is sinful. What is wrong with you? Get some help and Jesus.
Very many times. And Yuta, my poor, very offline boyfriend, this Catholic boy, he thought it was funny.
Very pure. Well, not anymore, I guess. Well, he is Catholic, so I guess he would find it funny. That is a joke.
You didn't get it was a fetish. You were like, why did they make it? You're so innocent. You were like, why are they making you into a blueberry? I was like, oh no. So there was also that, you know that meme of the casting couch, the porn casting couch?
Yes!
That's the couch that JD Vance slept with. It all comes together, folks. It all makes sense now.
Someone put me in front of the couch. Yuta's just like, why are they putting you in random rooms?
I literally showed you my phone. I was like, look, they're photoshopping you in random rooms.
Too innocent.
Too innocent, folks. Too innocent. And no, I am not gonna make a joke about that. Nope, no, not gonna. That one's innocent, but we all know that some were not. Oh boy, I'm sorry. I was right there. I'm sorry. I could have done worse, but I think I think it's the best to not go that far. I think the best thing to do is to just know, okay, this is a meme, this is not a meme, okay, is there more to this meme? Is it just a joke, or do they have something else? And just touch grass, live your life, do not be a weird radical online leftist or extreme right winger. Just live life, please. Because sadly, some people don't have that luxury. Some people just don't. If you learn something, that's great too. And I think I quite certainly, if you wills, helped you understand how to know a meme. Hey, real quick, if you want to dedicate your life to Christ, aka get saved, or if you're a backslider and want to rededicate your life to Christ, or if you want the baptism of the Holy Spirit with the evidence of speaking with tongues, those prayers are in the description down below.